Hi there, folks, and thanks for listening. It's Lee Farnell from Everyday Empowerment Institute, helping everyone, everywhere, every day to improve and implement, make change, make their life the best possible life, the best possible business, the best possible career you can, optimizing your talent. We're here for such a short time now. Yesterday, I was sharing with you, I was so inspired by these quotes of Warren Buffett, and we covered quite a few, but I had to get moving, so I just wanted to continue with this because it's so exciting to get inside the mind of the world's fourth wealthiest person, Warren Buffett. I mean, there he was, born in 1930 or thereabouts, so he's just incredible. Over $80.9 billion and rising, as he said, compound interest. What a fantastic thing. Look at this. An investor should act as though he had a lifetime decision card with just 20 punches on it. If you knew that you could only make 20 decisions or 20 investments, you'd be very careful. He said if you could only buy 10 or 20 stocks in your entire life, you'd be a lot more careful about where you'd invest. You'd spend more time looking at the company and making sure you really love it. He talks about business schools. I love that one as well. We covered that yesterday. Let me go to the one where we were. Oh, I like this one. It's better to hang out with people better than you. It's better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates whose behaviour is better than yours, and you'll drift in that direction. You absorb by osmosis, you watch, you make changes. If you're going to hang out with A-graders, you're far more likely to be an A-grader. Hang out with Z-graders, you will drift to the Z-grade standard. What standards are we playing to? We rise to the standards, and of course the training that goes on as well. What is this? Honesty is a very expensive gift. Don't expect it from cheap people. Honesty is a very expensive gift. Don't expect it from cheap people. So therefore, don't hang around with or even do business with cheap people. Buffett also said, Wall Street is the only place that people ride to in a Rolls Royce to get advice from those who take the subway. Oh, painful. Wall Street's the only place that people ride to in a Rolls Royce to get advice from those who take the subway. Oh, which comes back to the Ray Dalio piece on the believability index. Ray Dalio has what he calls a believability. Now, Ray Dalio is also an incredibly successful hedge fund manager. In fact, his funds have outperformed the market by factors of 10s and 20s and 30s and 40s. Just incredible. He has a believability index. Yes, you can have an opinion, but now let's go back to your track record, your experience, maybe your age, how accurate you've been in the past. That is, not everyone's opinion is equal. Don't fool yourself. So, the believability index. In other words, be careful who you trust. Most of the financial advice, in inverted commas, offered by equity analysts and by any range of advisors and in the media should be taken with a grain of salt. Buffett and his partner have long worked with the same people with whom they have long histories of trust and experience. Believability index. Any good investor will do the same. But it's not just investing, it's anything. When someone's giving you an opinion, what's that line? Opinions are like armpits. Everyone's got two, and they usually smell. And even then they might just be covered up with a bit of aftershave. The point is this, everyone's got an opinion. The question is, what is their believability index, the believability weighting that they have? Here's another one. Someone's sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Time. Planting a seed today that you may never sit in the shade of. But planting a seed, knowing that time will do the job. What seeds are you planting so that others can sit in the shade that you have created? If you're in the luckiest 1% of humanity, you owe it to the rest of humanity to think about the other 99%. Think about this. If you are born, if you're in the luckiest 1% of humanity, you owe it to the rest of humanity to think about the other 99%. And of course, Buffett, via the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, has donated billions, something like 90% of his wealth or more, to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to help the rest of humanity. How do I leverage? And of course, Andrew Carnegie, who was the wealthiest person on the planet back around 1915, 1920, when he sold his company to JP Morgan, he said to die rich was a sin, that the purpose of creating the wealth was then to give it back to alleviate the suffering of others. Fantastic story. Andrew Carnegie, in fact, I went to the Andrew Carnegie Birthplace Museum in Dunfermline many years ago and literally saw the handwritten notes that he had written down to create the book called The Gospel of Wealth. The Gospel of Wealth, where he talks about the creation of wealth, and then the purpose of creating that was to give it back. The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. Focus. I was just watching a video this morning of Steve Jobs talking about focus, that he said I had to put a bullet in the head of some of those projects. We were running around chasing too many rabbits and catching none. So focus the effort, focus the energy to a smaller number of projects that fitted within the overall strategy, and in his case, making sure the products fitted within the Apple ecosystem. That is, at one stage, I think there was a thing called Open Docs, where people was going to open source software and open access, and he's going, no, I want people within the Apple ecosystem. That will be better for our sales and also better in terms of compatibility of products and create a better customer experience, which again, he said, customers don't necessarily know what they want. We have to reverse engineer a great customer experience. Start with the end in mind, start with a great customer experience. The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. How good are you at saying no? No, that can't be done. No, I need to think about it. No, that doesn't fit with our strategy. Yes, you're a lovely person. Yes, it's a good idea. Yes, it's probably a good idea for someone else, but not for us right now. Thank you very much. We need to FOCUS. FO. Yeah, that's interesting. No, FO, focus. Interesting. You've got to keep control of your time, and you can't unless you say no. Oh, get that. You've got to keep control of your time, and you can't unless you say no. You can't let people set your agenda in life. Oh, wow. Just look at the power of those words and that thought alone. You can't let people set your agenda in life. Wow. Boy, I know myself many times you get sucked in by enthusiastic people or great ideas or that thought. Convert that into action. What is your agenda in life? What are the steps that need to be done to realize your agenda in life? There's that great Ralph Waldo Emerson, or was it Isaac Newton? Isaac Newton said, the reason I've seen so far is because I've stood on the shoulders of giants. Here I am, here we are right now, folks, standing on the shoulders of a giant, Warren Buffett, the sage of Omaha. You can't let people set your agenda in life. That presupposes you have an agenda. Write the agenda down. Break it down. In fact, that's what we do in our acceleration workshop, is help you get a blueprint. In fact, I've got it right in front of me now, the Empowerment Acceleration Blueprint. How to convert ideas and plans into micro steps, easy, simple steps, so that you convert it into behavior. We talk about not only implementation, but integration. It's not just information, so it's, we all get high, we all get happy at a seminar, get all this information, or I've read a book, oh, fantastic, yeah, good. what is your implementation system, what is your integration system. That is what we do at Everyday Empowerment Institute. We have implementation and integration systems so that you get the impact, the income, and the return on investment and the freedom for you and your family. That's what we do. Help you set the agenda, then implement the agenda. Empower you to implement the agenda in your life. In the world of business, the people who are most successful are those who are doing what they love. Listen to that again. In the world of business, the people who are most successful are those who are doing what they love. That then means, let's get clear. What do you love? What are your gifts? What are your talents? What are your passions? The Japanese have a model they call Ikigai. Ikigai, where, and again, we talk about this in our Acceleration Empowerment Workshop, our Empowerment Acceleration Workshop, is your Ikigai, so that you're in flow, that you're tapping in on your talents to create income, and then you use the ladder of business evolution to scale the business so that you have maximum impact but maximum income. Optimization of impact, optimization of income. That's what we do at Everyday Empowerment Institute with our Acceleration Empowerment Workshop. You know, you keep doing the same things and you keep getting the same result over and over again. Oh, look at that. You know, you keep doing the same things and you keep getting the same result over and over again. If you're happy with your results, keep doing what you're doing. If you're not happy with your results, change something, change one thing, change two things. Don't try and change 20 things, change one or two things. Micro steps, micro changes to create massive impact. Tell me who your heroes are and I'll tell you who you'll turn out to be. Heroes. Look at this. The best thing I did was to choose the right heroes. Tell me who your heroes are and I'll tell you who you'll turn out to be. I mean, it's just incredible. Whether it be sport, Ronaldo talks about the posters he had on his wall as a kid. David Beckham talks about the posters he had on the wall as a kid. Many of the singers that are successful, I remember Suzi Quatro, it goes on, Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters, who they had on their wall as heroes, and then they've emulated those people. How does that work? How does that work in terms of you learn about them, you get inside your hero's mindset, you create the same vibrations, you study them, you sing their songs, you dream. How does that work? It's how the subconscious works. The reticular activating system works. The reticular activating system, that filtering system that starts to look for opportunities that are going to help you become like your heroes. Role models. Choose your role models carefully. Look at Warren Buffett. Tell me who your heroes are and I'll tell you who you'll turn out to be. And of course, in his case, he wanted to model Benjamin Graham, and of course he was a superstar investor, and of course Warren Buffett's gone way beyond that. It's quite incredible. I mean, Michael Jackson spoke about modeling James Brown. It goes on and on and on. The Rolling Stones modeling Chuck Berry. They're the ones that I know of in terms of music, let alone, again, Elon Musk going and modeling, interviewing people. As a young teenager, going and interviewing high performers in business and go, what can I learn? What can I learn? What can I learn? What do I learn? How do I? So there's so many ways you can do it as well. Watching Shark Tank. But more to the point, get access to the information, have heroes, and then you take information, have a system for implementation so that you have the impact and the income. That's what we help you do at Everyday Empowerment Institute. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. Oh, that's a ripper. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. This is why part of our empowerment program, our acceleration program, is a habit audit. Auditing of habits, and then also how to leverage and scale habits. There's a whole system we have, which is just fantastic, and it's been researched and proven. Come and join us on the Acceleration Empowerment Workshop. You do things when the opportunities come along. I've had my periods in my life when I've had a bundle of ideas come along, and I've had long dry spells. If I get an idea next week, I'll do something. If not, I won't do a damn thing. Isn't that funny? The creative process, how ideas at times come in spurts, other times they don't come at all. So how you create ideas, that's again what we do in our innovation programs, using the imagination, accessing the imagination to get ideas, to then filter those ideas, to put them through an innovation process, to then turn ideas into implementation, and then implementation into income. The investor of today does not profit from yesterday's growth. It's got to be tomorrow's growth. Where's tomorrow's growth? The investor of today does not profit from yesterday's growth. Therefore, you need to have a growth system, an opportunity creating and searching system, which again is what we do in our strategic planning and our innovation workshops, is where is the growth going to come from? Where is the opportunity coming from? How do we create that opportunity? There's a whole range of ways of doing that with innovation, plenty of research and systems to do that. That's what we do. If you want to be empowered in terms of innovation and growth, that's what we talk about. Empower, change, grow. Empower, change, grow. That's what we do. Don't be greedy. Not doing what we love in the name of greed is very poor management of our lives. Not doing what we love in the name of greed is very poor management of our lives. Comes back to that principle of doing what we love. Steve Jobs says the same thing. He said, as an entrepreneur, and I think Elon Musk says the same thing. I remember Musk saying, being an entrepreneur is like eating glass. You've got to just go through pain and discomfort, and of course in his case working 100 hours a week or more. Steve Jobs said, you've got to love this. You've got to love what you do, because otherwise you'll give up. And it's persistence, hanging in there, failing, grazing your knees, making mistakes. And in Buffett's case, it's how do I minimize the bloodshed when I make a mistake? Particularly if it's losing money, how do I minimize so that I can bounce back? Today, people who hold cash equivalents feel comfortable. They shouldn't. They have opted for a terrible long-term asset, one that pays virtually nothing and is certain to depreciate in value. In other words, cash, the dangers of holding too much cash. And this was the quote I was looking for originally, the most important investment of all. As it says, Warren Buffett is a huge proponent of continuous learning and self-education. I'll read that again. Warren Buffett is a huge proponent of continuous learning and self-education. He said in the past that he's read over 500 pages a day. He is always learning, and he's always spending time on personal development. Let me read that again. He's always learning, and he's always spending time on personal development. Buffett has this to say about investing in yourself. The most important investment you can make is in yourself. The most important investment you can make is in yourself. Let me say it again. Warren Buffett, fourth wealthiest person on the planet. The most important investment you can make is in yourself. So how much time have you invested in yourself? How much money have you invested in yourself? You are the goose that's going to lay the golden egg in your life. So invest in yourself. The quality of input will determine the quality of output. There's what you know, there's what you know that you don't know. There's what you know about sales, there's what you know about business, there's what you know about yourself, there's what you know about the personal development, there's what you know about strategic planning, there's what you know about marketing. Then there's what you don't know. What you don't know about sales, what you don't know about strategy, what you don't know about people, what you don't know about a whole range of areas of life and business, relationships, emotional intelligence, financial intelligence. And then there's what you don't know. You don't even know. Things you don't even know, you don't even know. In fact, 3/4 of that cavity in the brain is what you don't know, you don't know. And of course, even Einstein said, the more I learn, the more I know, the more I realize I don't know. This is part of the area of self-discovery. This is why I'm looking at Buffett and I go, wow, this just shows me what is I don't know. And the ego says you don't need to learn more. The ego says, mate, you're smart enough. You don't need to read anymore. Reading's for stupid people. Oh, don't be a bookworm. Go out and have fun. Remember the story of the three little pigs? House of straw, house of sticks, house of bricks. House of bricks takes a little longer, way more solid. Invest in yourself. The most important investment you can make is in yourself. Warren Buffett, fourth wealthiest person in the world. I insist on a lot of time being spent almost every day to just sit and think. Sit and think. That is very uncommon in American business. I read and think. So I do more reading and thinking and make less impulse decisions than most people in business. Less impulse decisions. I insist on a lot of time being spent almost every day to just sit and think. That is very uncommon in American business. I read and think, so I do more reading and thinking and make less impulse decisions than most people in business. Wow. Isn't that fantastic? I'm sure Buffett said a whole range of other things, but if you can just take some of those, and I'm talking to myself as well, choose your role models carefully. Get inside the minds. And it's not just information, because yes, it's stimulating. Yes, it's interesting. Yes, all of those things. It's inspiring. But all of that is like showering with a raincoat on. You feel nice and warm and cozy, but it doesn't do the job. You don't get any traction. You know, one stage someone said to me, it's like peeing in a wetsuit. Warm and cozy, but it's not the result you want. Unless you're in cold water, of course. No, you want traction. You want implementation. You want impact on your life for yourself and your family and the people you care about. You want return on investment. You want freedom. You want to scale that impact, scale your talent, scale your knowledge and skills and gifts and products. And that means an implementation system. And that's what we do with our acceleration workshop. Please come and join us. Click the link below. Click somewhere around this. You'll see a link that links to the next of our Empowerment Acceleration workshops, so you can have a system for taking great ideas, great information, great inspiration, and implementing it and integrating it into your life. Hey, thanks for listening. I'm Lee Farnell, Everyday Empowerment Institute. Clarity today for growth tomorrow. See you next time.